Welcome back to another episode of the Steebee Weebee Show. We have a very special guest tonight. Please welcome for the first time on the podcast, the manager of JK News and podcaster, Jessica Caldwell.
Oh, slow clap. Nice.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I was just telling you off camera, this is my first time guesting by myself on someone else's show.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then because you've been doing the podcast game for a while now, right?
Well, we've had it for about a year.
And that's Big Mood Girls?
It's just Big Mood.
Okay.
All of our socials have the girls on there.
Uh-huh. And then how did that, because you have an interesting story. I want to get to that. So before that took place, you're originally from Texas?
Yes. So I come from Texas, and I was actually an accountant. I was an auditor.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't consider myself to be an entertainer. I just wound up here on accident.
And how did that happen?
Well, I think around age 25, I started having the typical quarter life crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what the hell am I doing? Do I love this? Is this my life forever? Being an accountant, my whole life is already figured out for me. I already know generally what my salary is going to be. I know the type of man I'm probably going to marry. You know, everything was just figured out. And then somehow I found JK News on YouTube, and I think it was because me and my friend, okay, this is going to sound really bad.
That's okay.
But don't judge me. Me and my friend were looking up Asian baby names.
What? Just randomly?
Yeah. I don't remember why, but I'll tell you what I do remember. I love Asians. I'm not a fetishizer. I'm sorry I have to apologize to your audience, but this is how I found JK News. We were looking up Asian baby names. Yeah. And we found a JK video that Bart did, and it was like funny Asian names. And it was like a joke, like a skit of him doing the accent of like Ching Chong, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
right.
And so I just started watching more of their videos, and I was like, oh, these people are actually really cool. You know, like they seem like really down to earth. Like I'd never really seen a lot of Asian entertainers before.
Being from Texas, are there a lot of Asians?
No.
Because one of my dreams is just to go to Texas.
Well, if you go to Austin or Houston, maybe Dallas, I wouldn't consider Dallas if I were you, but Austin and Houston are pretty cool, and there's a huge Asian population. And so
I used to chew tobacco for.
I know. Are you chewing right now? What is that?
Yeah, this is to wean me off chew. It's called a Zyn, and so it's like tobacco.
Is
it's
it
just
like
the
covered?
nicotine. It's the nicotine.
Is there something. What is it?
It's a nicotine pouch.
Oh, I see.
And then you put. Like how you put it in it.
Yeah, I used to be a smoker, but I've never tried those.
But I just heard in Texas there's a lot of people that chew tobacco.
I don't think so.
No?
I mean, maybe on the ranch. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
I lived in the city.
Oh, okay. So that's like a stereoterotype.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So let's go back.
much like I was looking up Asian baby names.
Yeah, I too am guilty of stereotyping.
Yeah, I think we all are a little bit.
But the barbecue is bomb.
It is, yes. Actually, the best barbecue I've had, I've got to be honest.
Can we give him a shout out?
It's actually an Asian man here in LA. I don't know.
Asian man doing
here in
Texas
LA
barbecue?
Yes.
Oh, let's shout him out.
He's a friend of a friend. I don't know if I should.
Why not?
I don't know, because I don't know where his career is now, but he was a chef, and he was doing independent stuff, and he was working. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But does he have a restaurant where people could go visit?
No, I don't know. I just don't want to call out people personally too much. But anyway, yes, an Asian man in LA here actually made the best barbecue that I've really ever had.
Coming from Texas.
Yes.
So that's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot. Yes.
Okay, so let's go back to you discovering this channel JK, and then you're like, oh, these people are cool.
Yeah, so I
could identify with them. They're cool.
Yeah, I mean, I actually honestly really liked Gio the most, like, because she's the girl, right? I'm the girl, so I was like, cool. So I would watch. I would watch their skits and stuff, and then I started following them all on Instagram. And at one point, Joe DM'd me, and that's where it all began.
It all began with Joe.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Joe.
He shot his shot. He shooted his shot.
Yeah.
and it worked.
So what was his opener?
I don't remember the opener. I think it was about my dogs or something.
Okay, but then you're like, okay, and then you guys start talking.
Yeah, and it wasn't like an attraction thing for me at first. It was just more like he's the funny guy.
Yeah, he's funny. Yeah, and he's damn funny.
He's funny. Yeah, but I mean, back then I feel like his personality has changed so much over the years.
Has it?
Yeah, it really has.
Oh, okay.
Not like in a bad way, but I feel like now he's more mature.
Yeah,
and, I don't know. He's really serious. But then he still has his shtick, but yeah. So I don't know. We just had conversations and we wound up dating long term
through Instagram. It started with Instagram. And so, what did that progress into?
I mean, like I had my accounting job and I would just tell him like, oh, it's kind of boring, blah, blah, blah. And he was just always telling me about, oh, you could do so much more in life. Like you're not dead yet. Like you could try other things, blah, blah, blah. And then just over time, over the year that we were long distance, he was just like, eventually he was kind of like, why don't you just come to LA?
This was just purely just a texting relationship
at
first?
It was, well, at first for like a month or two, and then he flew out to Texas to see me.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
How did you...
He imported me to LA after that.
Okay, so he just took a plane out to Texas.
Yeah, he did.
Dirty devil, Joe.
He is a dirty devil, yeah.
And then... were you nervous before he flew?
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing? I felt like I was in a femur. No, I was living by myself.
Oh, you living your friends know? Like, they give you advice, like, how to act?
I didn't know. I don't know. Okay. No one really knew them. Like, I was the only one that knew. Like, none of my other friends were fans or anything.
Okay. So, JoJo took a plane out to Texas.
Yeah.
And it started.
It started. And we dated for a year long distance.
Oh, wow.
Until my lease came up and I was like, hey, well, I'm going to re-sign, my lease here in Austin. And he was like, well, why don't you just move out to LA? And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Because I knew that I had my accounting career as my backup and I was already getting bored with it. Honestly, now that I'm older, I'm 33 now. I feel like my perspective was just kind of fucked up. At that time, now I don't think that it was a mistake to be an accountant or anything.
Yeah,
I don't look down on that.
Wrong with that.
I'm actually studying to get my CPA license now, just as a plan B, because I didn't fully finish it. Because I'm not an entertainer. I don't know how I got here. That's what I'm trying to say.
But the thing about it is, in life, sometimes just things fall into place that way.
Well, I allowed things to go left, and I just followed them. Which a lot of people don't do. Like, people will get comfortable with their lives and they'll say, well, this is secure and I'm just going to stick with it. But I just said, fuck it. I quit my job. I cashed out my 401k and I just left.
And so what else did Joe or the JK camp, did they offer you a job or, hey, why don't you do YouTube videos with us?
Joe was like, he let me move in with him immediately. So we moved in together.
Dirty devil, Joe.
He is a dirty devil.
Wow.
Yeah, we moved in together immediately and I just started helping him with anything I could and he was covering the rent or whatever.
Oh, right. In what ways? Technically, like, hey, can you pre-edit these videos?
Yeah, so I was editing his vlogs and stuff. That's how I started. But I determined that I hated editing.
Like, did they... So you like video editing, like through Premiere?
Yeah, on
or
Premiere,
like,
yeah. So his vlog channel used to be like our thing too. We would vlog together and I would edit them.
And did you have kind of like a consensus or a pretty good idea of like how much they're bringing in they're doing well even back then, right?
Oh, I knew all the money stuff, especially being an accountant.
So they were making a pretty good living with
They were all, especially 5 years. I mean, a lot of YouTubers, right? They have their peak and their valley. Sometimes they get another peak and another valley. Like I've seen the money the whole way and it hasn't been a little bit.
It's been pretty
chunky.
A good
amount,
pretty chunky every month.
Yeah.
Through Google AdSense,
Google
right?
AdSense, yeah. Because they're a little too crazy to really get a lot of brand. Now we've been getting some brand deals this year.
Why? And rightfully so.
On JK News.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I took from, because I it's been a while since I've been on JK.
Yeah.
Just as a guest, I think I've been 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you came a few years,
yeah,
like
a few years ago.
a year or 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, off camera, I'd ask him like, hey, like, can you guys give me some tips? And the thing that I took from their whole camp is the amount of hard work,
they're
the high volume. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you're posting your 1 hour video once a week,
then you'll
it's a different strategy. You need to get sponsorships.
Yeah.
But for them,
they were doing like 10 videos a day.
No,
like
not 10 a day.
But they were filming a lot.
Yeah, they film a lot and they release anywhere from 3 to 5 a day. Right now we're on
day.
Right now we're on 4 videos a day come out.
Every day.
Every day 4 videos come out.
Just because
they're 10 to 15 minute videos.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, I just that just gave me so much anxiety.
Well, you're filming 1 hour right now. Imagine if you split that into 4 pieces. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
But you'd have to film an hour every day.
You know,
you're in the podcast game though, right? So it's a different.
Yeah. But again, it's a bit different because I don't have like a whole cast of like coworkers or other
people to bounce off.
Yeah. And so
you're reliant on yourself.
I'm relying on myself a lot, and then like going back to the editing thing, like I had to learn that too, as far as.
Oh yeah, we have 6 editors too.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's a whole operation.
Yeah.
If you don't realize that that's a real company, then you haven't really caught on.
Well, I knew that they were about it just the space that they have. Like even I haven't gone to the one downtown.
Well, we're getting rid of that. I think they actually just got rid of it.
I went to the one more East LA, like
yeah,
that
the small one, the
yeah.
old one. That's the original office. They never got rid of it.
And then once I saw that room with the wardrobe and all the other clothes,
yeah.
and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a different thing. They got like.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like a movie.
And it's funny. It's funny too because that office is so trashy, but it's a legitimate business.
It's legit. Yeah. Okay, so you moved here from Texas.
Yeah.
You started off editing videos for JK and Joe.
For Joe.
Just for Joe. Because Joe has his own personal channel.
Joe had his own channel. Yeah. I'm not qualified to edit videos for JK.
Okay, so they have other help for that.
We have an actual team of real editors.
And so when did that kind of escalate to you
being the manager?
Being a manager and then actually being involved with your content?
Joe was still trying to find work for me throughout the company, and I am the most anal person. I'm very type A. I'm very organized. I can do the most menial tasks over and over and over and on time all the time. So for such a high volume channel, it just seemed like I was the best personality out of the whole group because everyone else
has always been like that.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm an auditor.
What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay, because we're Virgos and we're like that. Well, I'm like that too.
I don't know anything about zodiacs.
Okay.
I just know that I'm a Cancer.
Okay, so maybe I don't know the characteristics, but maybe that's one.
I'm supposed to be super emotional and like hide in my shell, which I guess I believe that, but.
But you've always been super organized, like in an OCD way.
Yeah.
Like your room must be immaculate. Like
you should see my apartment. It's
everything's in order. Like
yeah, and I make my bed every morning. It's very, very clean. I'm not concerned by anything though.
So if you're used to
don't look at your table.
So if you're used to seeing something like this,
I
were to do this,
no. It's not okay. So it's not a compulsion. It's just that I personally like to clean my own space, but I'm not bothered by other people's spaces. So I think it's like an internal thing.
Yeah.
Because like I don't project that onto other people really.
So do you like obsessively clean your toilet bowl every day?
No.
Okay.
No. I keep things like tidy, but I'm not germaphobe or like not everything. I mean, things will have to be kind of like lined up, but
is your refrigerator in order?
Oh, it's pretty clean. Yeah, it looks great.
Like as far as your produce,
there's like all the drinks are like I take them out of the cans or out of the boxes and they'll line them up and they all have their own little rows, but it's not too crazy.
Okay. Well, that's a good quality to have.
I mean, so they took a look at their staff and they said, this one needs to handle the back end process of this channel because it's vast. It's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of organizing.
Let's can we talk a little about like what's involved with that? Like give me an example of that.
Well, it's just the production of, I think right now we're doing 3 days a week every other week. So we're shooting 60 videos over 3 days.
I just need to pause right there. Dude, you just made me so anxious. Say that one more time.
We shoot 60 videos over 3 days. And then so I have to get.
Wow.
I deal
we
with
gotta
our.
step it up, Ren. I mean, I gotta step it up. How do you even do that?
So we have a big team. I mean, it's like a 20-person company. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, that would be almost impossible.
There's a lot of people behind the scenes.
Yeah. Have they always been like that, or they had a?
Well, Joe actually figured that out right around the time when we first started dating. So they didn't have that formula when we first started dating. They were still doing skits and stuff, and they were it was like one a week.
I enjoyed their skits, by the way. Yeah.
So right around the time we started dating, he just was crunching numbers, and he's like, you know what? We need to ramp this shit up. So he just like immediately went into we're just gonna film a shit ton and release a shit ton on JK News and get rid of the skits.
How did he figure that out? Did he go on the analytics and on YouTube analytics?
He's somehow a genius at the most random time, and he figured that out and blew the company up.
Joe did.
Yeah.
So he's
financially.
So he's personally responsible.
I would
for doing
say that it was him that really got it going
crazy.
monetarily.
Yeah. You know what's dope? Just like this on topic but off topic. You know why I dig their whole camp is because they have their whole collective JK.
Yeah.
But then like Gio and Bart have their own channel too, so they have their own YouTube channels on top of what they have.
And they have their gym. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Continue. But that really impressed me. Like,
they all. I mean, everyone kind of has their own little thing. Even the editors kind of have their own little like they'll like review equipment and put videos up. You know, like everyone kind of has their own little thing. It's it's like Amazon really cute. Affiliate. Yeah. A lot of people kind of jumped off of JK. You know, like I would say for sure my show is a big part of that is because of JK, you know, like it's Gio started this show.
I want to get to that.
Yeah.
So before that, when did you step up to actually thinking of like, hey, I want to be involved with the content itself?
Oh my gosh, I never wanted to, and honestly, that was a big problem in our relationship because I liked him. I liked his friend group. I liked the vibe. I came out here for the vibes, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be in entertainment. Every time the camera was put on me, I would freak out. I would like get anxiety. Like
really?
Yeah. And so it really caused a strain on our relationship because I couldn't step up to the plate, I think. And I was also starting to kind of freak out about what I was doing. I don't know. I was like, what am I doing?
What are you doing there?
Yeah, just like how did I get here? And you know, now I need to be an entertainer on YouTube, and I didn't really think this through. But
what were your parents thinking? I mean, they must have asked. Like,
okay, so I'm white, and our parents
obviously
our parents don't care what we do. Most of us, I mean, the lower class ones, it's like whatever. My dad, he's just like, just follow your dreams, girl.
Oh wow! So he was just like,
go for it, whatever. He's like, I trust you. He's like, I know you're smart.
Wow.
If you're gonna make a mistake, you're gonna make it on your own, and you're gonna learn from it.
So they're pretty like laid back folks there.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, I don't.
Because Asians, you know, you've heard of the term tiger parents and all that.
Well, I got lucky with Joe too, because his parents aren't tiger parents at all. They're just super laid back.
Yeah. So you took a crack at it. You were uncomfortable at first, but when did you start getting into the flow of things?
It wasn't until after our relationship ended, actually.
How long were y'all together?
5 years. 4 of them were living together. Wow. One was that first year where I was in Austin.
Wow.
But by the time we realized we just weren't a good fit for each other, even though like we both really wanted it to work. And then Gio started this show. She's like, because as the manager, I set up an all-girls day of JK News. Yeah. Because Bart and Joe had to be flying out for a show or something. So I was like, let's just set up an all-girls day. And it worked out really well. So I think, you know, pretty soon after that, Gio was like, I see an opportunity here.
Oh.
You know? So she got us all together. So was that
on a separate channel?
Yeah, well, no, that was on JK News.
It started on JK.
There were some segments that we did. It's the same show, but the cast was just all girls.
How did you come up with the cast? Who got chosen?
It's the girls that were originally on the show now.
So it's Gio, Tiffany,
me, Nikki, and then this other girl, Bose, who's no longer on our show. There's 6 of us, and Gina.
How did Gina get involved? Because she's not like...
Gina's always been like adjacent to JK, I feel like.
Yeah.
And David, so.
Yeah, and yeah. And so you were involved at the beginning of that?
Yeah.
And so
she signed up us, the 5 of us. so there was a total of 6 of us. She signed us up for the show. It was like her little pet project. We were all super excited.
Yeah.
We ran.
And what's the format like?
It's just a bunch of girls. It's like locker room talk for girls, I want to say.
Yeah, give me an example of the kinds of things you all talk about.
I mean, in the beginning, it started off really, really crazy. We talked a lot about dicks and vaginas and like. Yeah. We had a porn star on our show. We had just it got a little crazy, and then Gio wound up deciding that she had to cut some things out of her life. Yeah. And that was the newest thing that she had started. She's like, I don't have time for everything. I need to be more of a mom to my son. So she basically started the show, gave us the baby, and was like, here, you guys take the show. So she left she exited the show. And then another girl, she wound up exiting the show later on too. She was like, it's just not my passion. So now we have 4 girls, but we've kind of calmed down a little bit on the like dicks and pussies and stuff. And we're like trying other content.
Have you heard of micro penises?
Yes, I've heard of micro penises.
Have you guys talked about that?
I don't think we have. We try to be penis positive on our show.
Yeah.
As much as possible. So we don't want to just sit there laughing at micro penises for an hour.
Would you be open to talking about? Because I'm sure that'd be.
Do you want to come on our show and talk?
Then I can just pull my pants down.
Oh no!
And go, hey, this might be considered a micro penis.
Well, we actually have sponsors, and we'd like to keep our sponsors. So
I'm sorry.
I would like
I
to.
don't have micro.
I would like.
I don't have micro. It's not micro. It's not micro.
Small, just not micro.
Well, micro is like a button.
I haven't actually seen one. I've been too.
Why are you looking at your pinky, man?
Because I'm trying to.
Why are you looking at your pinky?
I had to envision it.
So would that be?
That's pretty micro.
What? This is micro.
What is it to you if it's not micro?
Are you talking about the width or the length?
Both. I'm envisioning what I think a micro penis looks like, and it's probably like a pinky. Or is it just the same width but just smaller?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I'm obsessed with it because I'll Google it and then
I've never Googled it.
I like to read it. I like to read about it and because
does it make you feel better about yourself?
A little bit. Well, because Asians already have that stigma.
Yeah,
you know?
And not all Asians have small penises. I can vouch for that.
So, but with the micro one, it's almost kind of like like there's shows about like people with like enormous head, you know what I mean? Like just freak examples of like.
I know my strange addiction, but not the body ones.
Well, there's ones with like
oh, like the 2-headed girls.
Yeah, like or something like that where it's just like it's out there, but it's not as common as you would think.
Or like what's the one with they have the penis and the vagina?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what that's called, but like stuff like that where it's like kind of like this exists, but we just don't hear about it every day. Yeah. And that's why I'm fascinated. But then, and then it's one of those things where you kind of like put yourself in there, like, what would that be like with,
I don't think that they can have sex, can they? How far did you get in your Googling?
I think they can, but I think it'll take a lot of, I think it's like, I'm guessing it's like maybe a lot of grinding.
It doesn't really go anywhere.
Like a lot of grinding.
Yeah. So like maybe clit to penis grinding would be the best option.
Yeah, but you would have to think now since we opened up this jar. Yeah. You would think that the woman would have to be a damn good woman to stick with her man who has something.
Would you consider that to be a good woman though?
Well, it would be a woman with a very open mind.
I feel like it would have to be a woman that's there for a different reason. Let's be honest. He's got to have something else for her to stay.
What do you mean?
During that, whether it's money or like.
So you're saying there's other factors.
I don't think there is a good woman that's gonna stay around for that. Let's just be honest.
So you're saying if there is a really
unless they're asexual,
what if the man looks like Brad Pitt, like just gorgeous, okay, but he doesn't have a lot of money, like works at Taco Bell or something, but then he has would that be incentive to stay because this guy looks like Brad Pitt?
I mean, if you're asking me, no.
What do you mean?
I would rather have a whole man than just a really hot one.
Dude, or Tom Hardy, dude. Like, what if the guy looks like...
Okay, you hit me with that one. But no, I couldn't do it.
I mean, what if he looked like Tom Hardy, like 6'3", 6'2".
Tom Hardy's kind of short though.
Okay, let's picture Tom Hardy, but taller.
But taller.
Okay, so a taller version of Tom Hardy. 6'2", masculine, buff, cool tattoos, hits the gym. But then
is he
micro penis?
But every other circumstance, he's good to me. He's not gonna.
He doesn't
talk to other
abuse you.
girls.
No, he doesn't cheat.
I mean,
he's loyal. He's loyal, right? He's a good man. But
not a drug addict.
Not a drug addict. Doesn't drink alcohol.
If there's
literally,
if that's the only thing, and he looks like Tom Hardy,
and he looks like Tom, I'm
maybe.
talking about like there's no blimp. There's just chiseled.
It's still.
But he works at Pizza Hut.
Oh.
He like stirs the
That's
sauce.
2 strikes.
What do you mean 2 strikes?
2 strikes. 2 strikes.
What
He
do you
works
got
at
against
Pizza Hut. I mean, as a grown 33-year-old woman, I'm not going to date a guy that works at Pizza Hut.
No, well, hold up.
Come on.
He's not on the line though. He's not on the.
Is he a manager?
If he's a manager,
okay, can he be the In-N-Out manager? Because they make like $160 a year. In-N-Out manager with a micro penis, and he looks like Tom Hardy. I'm down.
But sometimes he gets like acne breakouts.
How often?
Like once every 3 months.
How bad is it?
Pretty bad. Like the way Charles Bukowski had it. Like
I don't know that reference,
okay,
but
one of the.
If it's really bad, I get it. If it's really bad, if it's that's fine. I break out on my chin every month with my period anyway.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you would do it if the person looked like Tom Hardy,
and he's a good person,
manager of In-N-Out, making $200K a year.
If he can make that much, I just would kind of prefer he didn't work at In-N-Out, but
okay. But you would consider it
if it's his passion. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to present you with another scenario.
Okay.
He doesn't look like Tom Hardy. He looks.
That's
like
3 strikes.
No. I'm gonna give you. This is a whole different scenario. This is
right. I'll wait for it.
Okay, so there's a man out there.
Okay.
Over 200 pounds. He's like 275 pounds.
What kind of 200 pounds? Like a Jack 200?
No, like
a fat 200.
like a ball.
Oh.
like Jabba the Hutt.
Okay.
Have you seen Star Wars?
Yes, I've seen Star Wars.
So he looks like Jabba the Hutt.
Okay.
Like he's droopy.
There's nothing you can say to get me to
No. But this will change. This will change the story.
Okay.
He's a billionaire. I'm talking. He could get you a helicopter. He has houses on both coasts. He has an island. He has a house in Hawaii.
Okay.
He has a house in Australia. He's got like 5 flats in London.
Nice.
But he looks like Jabba the Hutt.
Okay.
And has a micro penis.
Okay.
Go.
How often do we have to have sex?
Whenever this man wants, because you'll have like 5 Aston Martin. You'll have like whatever.
Can you give me an idea of how often he would want to have sex?
Okay. Twice a week.
For all the money in the world.
All the money in the world.
Ooh, I'm considering
I'm talking about
it.
personal masseuses. Okay, I'm talking about personal pedicures.
Do I only have to have sex with him?
Wait.
Or can I also have sex with other people?
With your trainer?
Yeah. With a pool boy. Can I have a pool boy? I have the money for one.
Yes, but then this man.
He can't know.
No. This man would have to okay it, like review the person.
That's fine.
Interview the person.
That's fine.
And say, listen, and then. But that's only once every 6 months.
That's fine. It could be once a year. That's fine.
So
as long as I tap in.
As long as you have the pool boy.
As long as I get to tap in once in a while. Yeah.
Okay.
You're asking me if I will sell my soul,
it's
and
not
the
selling
answer
your
is
soul.
yes.
It's not selling your soul, though.
That is.
In what way?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I consider prostitution.
This is an agreeable partnership.
True.
Yeah.
True.
That would take place.
Well,
with
it's
two
a
adults.
lie. It's a lie, though.
What do you mean?
In a
it would
way,
be a lie?
because like, if you're having sex, if he knows that he's paying me and I'm just a prostitute,
no, but
I guess it's not a lie. But if
you would be married to this man.
Well, the marriage would be a sham, obviously.
No, not on paper. It would be legal.
Yeah, in my mind, it would be a lie.
Yeah.
So it's like selling your soul.
Okay, so thanks for your truth. I love these scenario situations. I'm sorry to get off topic.
I would ask you for a situation, but I just assume like all men, you would probably have sex with anything. Is that correct?
I used to be like that.
Oh, you're not
when
anymore?
I did drugs and alcohol.
Oh.
Yeah, I would.
Sober
I
like
had
a decade.
12 years.
Okay, I was going to say
12
like
years, no alcohol or drugs.
What was your drug?
I was mostly just alcohol and weed.
Oh.
Sometimes coke. Sometimes your psychedelics.
I had a drug phase a long time ago too. It's been about 15 years for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
same.
I realized I wasn't making the best decisions.
No.
Yeah, especially while intoxicated.
Yeah.
But during that phase, I would going back to what your statement was.
Yeah.
I was that dude.
Yeah.
I would be on Hollywood Boulevard at Greco's Pizza at 3 a.m, and there's this woman talking to herself in all black with a pale face, and she's like,
"Was this
I'd be like, "Hey, you want to come smoke weed?"
Oh shit, a ghost.
Yeah, and she ended up really having a mental illness. Like she thought the Church of Satan telepathically communicated with her in her thoughts.
How old was this person?
She was probably in her mid-20s or early 30s.
So you just picked up like
you
just picked up like an emo girl, and she trying to be crazy. What's the all black with the white face? What does that mean?
That she was like kind of like a gothic vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, but she
was crazy.
She was crazy.
Okay.
She actually, I think, got a disability check because of that. Because she said that, when she was getting reviewed for it, she said that blood was coming out of her faucet, and that I forgot the guy's name, the leader of the Church of Satan. No, Church of Satan would contact and communicate with her in her thoughts.
What is that, schizophrenia maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
So going back to, so
that was your first girlfriend?
No, not a girlfriend. Nothing. We didn't have that. I attempted to, and then I just remember the night where, because my brother.
Wait, so you did sleep with her?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
She did the whole blanket tortilla. She wrapped herself.
So you got turned down by that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It worked out for the best. You've had sex though.
Yes.
In life.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not that time.
Okay.
But my brother would just randomly visit me, and he came over one night because we'd play FIFA. We play video games. Game. And she ended up being over there, and just the look of disappointment in his face. He was just like,
"Who's this street?
What are you doing,
walker?"
Yeah. And so, but this is going back. That was a long time ago.
A while ago, yeah. I had a drug phase too. I didn't make a lot of great choices then, but
but you didn't.
I didn't pick up
schizophrenic people.
I didn't pick up any weirdos. Yeah. I had a boyfriend during that whole time.
Okay,
so.
Good for you.
Yeah.
But you're saying, let's go back to your statement. You're saying, well, it's kind of like the scenario thing that I presented with the Jabba the Hutt and Tom Hardy.
I feel like
it would be hard to reverse it on a guy.
Most guys would pretty much say yes. Like if they don't look at it, they'll just put their dick in it. I find it hard to believe that there's a lot of situations where a lot of guys are pretty hurting for vagina, it seems like, where they would be like, absolutely not even one time. Like they'll usually take a situation at least once. Unless they're the super chads.
Yeah. Oh, so you know about that terminology?
Oh, I know all about.
You know about the incel?
As a girl,
you know about the incel community?
I am targeted by incels and MGTOWs constantly.
You know about MGTOW?
And you know what? The MGTOWs don't go their own way.
Hold up.
The MGTOWs don't go their own way because they harass women online. They need to go their own way.
So, because I mentioned this 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
My guest, shout out to Kat Lee, she didn't know this whole terminology in these communities of MGTOW and
I'm
incel.
harassed. All of us girls are harassed.
MGTOW is men going their own way.
Yeah.
Men who have decided,
it's a big jerk-off fest.
I'm not going to get married. I'm going to do my own shit.
Yeah.
But you're saying your experience with MGTOW people have been harassment.
Yes.
Continue.
I don't mind the concept. Right? If a man's like, look, women are too much to deal with. I've had several women come in, try to steal my money, cheat on me with my brother. Like
when they divorce, they take half my shit.
Yeah, if they've had a lot of situations that were fucked up, and you attract what you get. I mean, it's kind of their fault still. They haven't fully figured out. They haven't gone to therapy, so they've attracted the wrong women, and they've set themselves up for failure. Let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
But I understand the concept of men going their own way. I just don't think that they actually do. I think that they still, a lot of them, maybe not all of them, there might be some mature ones, but I think a lot of them, and especially ones you see on Reddit and other places, like they're still very angry at women, and they
Why
haven't,
you
they
though?
haven't
Why
given
did they?
it up. Because like, I mean, our show, we kind of like talk a lot of shit. Like I said, it's a locker room for girls, or a lot of our past episodes have been. We kind of chill out now. But so I think we'll say stuff just like if you have a guys in a room and they're gonna talk shit, they're gonna just be like, yeah, fuck that girl, blah blah blah, you know. But in front of a woman, they might not really behave that way.
No.
We kind of do the same thing from time to time. We'll be, you know, we'll say some things about this or that, so it triggers them, and so they try to attack us, and they think our whole personality is that we think men are whatever that pisses them off.
And so you've got personal messages.
Oh yeah, we get
On where? How do they contact you?
DMs, my Instagram DMs.
And give me just your typical message that they might send.
Just like, so they like to do this thing where they like to scare women that have gone past the age of 30 into being like, oh well, you think it's funny to make fun of incels now, but you've hit your wall, like no one's gonna marry you, you're over 30, like you're gonna look like shit, like you better get it together, you know, like they just like try to scare us into like we need to be concerned, like I'm not married yet and I'm worthless in the world if I'm not 25 and all, like I don't know, it's just their attitude is like they want us to feel as low as they do, but it doesn't work on me, but they still try.
Do you respond to every message?
No, I don't respond. No. So like,
Okay.
you know, when you have an Instagram, you have like the section that's like, you can see them, but until you accept it, they don't see that you read it.
Yeah.
So there's a whole, that's like the Wild West. There's like a whole bunch, but I'll respond to certain people, but
your
not,
inbox and that's flooded, I bet.
yeah, on that side.
On the right, the far right.
Yeah, the far right.
Yeah. It's the far
but
right.
I like
side.
to scroll through it, and I do read a lot of it. Because,
But there's must be positive fans.
yeah. Oh, there's tons.
I
There's
get positive,
tons.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not that I have more of those than regular people that follow
But
me.
you do check those out, the far right ones.
Yeah, I read through them. I get a lot of content actually from that, because sometimes people would say some crazy shit or something funny or whatever, and I post it, I react to it, and then like more people react to it, and I kind of create a community around my DMs.
Oh wow.
on my Instagram stories. It's fun.
And
But-
so you read it without giving them the satisfaction knowing that you read it.
Yeah.
Smart.
Because they don't know, like sometimes I'll post something and I'll get 300 comments. So like they don't know, like, but it's in my DMs, no one can see it. Right. So, but maybe I'll post something and then I'll only get 20. So it just depends on how affected the audience is by what I posted. So they have no idea if I saw it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm not reading them all day long either, but like if it happens to come across when I am sitting there reading through it, I'll see some.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining. I feel like I've matured to the point where they don't bother me, and I just get that they're sad.
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for that, but I think that they need therapy.
Do you think you're the only one from the whole camp, or have these other girls gotten
All the
messages
girls
too?
get it. I think a lot of girls on YouTube get it. If you're in front of the camera, and I think they wanted to target me too because they thought that I was just using Joe versus like actually loving him, which so they projected this image that they have of these shitty females onto me because they're like, Joe is not that desirable, so why would you be dating him?
Hey!
That's what they
Joe's charismatic as hell.
That's what they project onto me. My thing was always like his personality and the amount of care that he gives to the people around, like he's a good person.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
And he has a dick. He doesn't have a micro penis, so
Okay, Joe. Good for Joe.
yeah.
That was
So,
good
yeah,
that you didn't.
I think that's why I get a lot of the targeted hate too, because like the incels think that I'm just using Joe,
Yeah.
and I'm like, if you're his fan, you should think better of him. Like that's fucked up.
Do you think that they try to get at you because most of it's for attention, right? They
don't
want to be
know.
acknowledged, right?
I think maybe in their anger, they want some sort of justification or verification, or I don't know.
So what is their purpose of doing that, to shut you
Of
up?
harassing?
Yeah.
I think they just want me to be sad. Like if I'm happy and they're not, they're the type that it's misery loves company. Like they want to take away from, like if I'm on YouTube and I'm making money now and I'm happy, they're not. they're not having sex. Maybe their job is a dead end job, and they're upset. And I get that. Like, I get that. I haven't always had a great life.
Yeah.
I get being sad.
Yeah,
but I think they just need it's misplaced anger, and they need therapy, basically.
Yeah, this because all of these communities and all these factions, this is fairly new to me, at least. I know it's been around for several years, but
yeah,
back then I guess you would call them another word. But these new titles have just made it more acceptable, maybe. And it has a lot to do with that cat from Santa Barbara that shot up random people, Elliot Rodger or whatever.
And I don't know the history of it, but I just know that.
Well, there's
it's a movement.
Yeah, it's a movement where it's like, this going back to this Elliot character. He was half Asian, half white kid who he couldn't get girls. But
how old was he?
He was in what's college age, freshman, sophomore college.
He didn't
age.
even have time yet.
But not only that, this is what the problem is I think it's from the way he was taught, or just his grooming, or the way his parents taught him. He thought that he would just enter a room and without any kind of socializing, he expected women just to come to him. And that's not the way.
How would your parents give you that inclination, though?
I'll tell you how.
Okay.
Because growing up, if you're not being nurtured or held and being, shown love physically and emotionally, and you're just given gifts, like, here you go, here's the new video game here, then that's you're kind of grooming that person to expect things without putting in work, or you know what I'm saying?
So he never even had friends as a kid?
No.
Oh, okay.
He did have friends, but then he ended up being just so, and I'm sure this type of person exists on every college campus, or even high school or middle school or whatever.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of kids that are emotionally abandoned.
Yeah.
I mean, I was honestly emotionally abandoned myself. But
going back to the entitlement of the way one is raised and these expectations, like, you have to learn these social skills at an early age. I mean, this is my opinion. You can't.
It's weird, though, because I wonder sometimes if it's nature, too, versus just the nurture part, because there's a lot of kids that are abused, abandoned, and they don't shoot up whatever or whatever. I don't know what this guy did, but they don't do psycho shit.
Yeah, they internalize it, and they might do a beautiful Van Gogh painting. You know what I'm saying? They might do a painting,
a stand-up comedian,
or they might learn how to pick up a guitar, and they're like, they're writing country love songs that get on the billboards. I don't know, but people react differently to that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
But certain people don't feel like they even have an outlet for that. There's no outlet for them. I mean,
so maybe the internet rage posting is their outlet.
Yeah. And
which, if it keeps them from being violent in real life, I'm all for it.
Well, there's this thing I even saw on Vice about incels, where they have these chat rooms, and I'm sure that could get toxic too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're all bouncing off of each other
and doing weird shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't think there's a lot of solution. I mean,
no.
Like you said, misery loves company. I'm sure if there's a therapist in those rooms saying, hey guys, no, this is the deal. This is why you're not doing so well, A, B, and C. You need to start doing these actions.
I don't think that there's anyone that's that ugly or has that many reasons why a woman would I feel like there's someone for everyone. And if they're not, it's just your personality. It's not any of these other things. It's literally just your personality.
And like this guy, he thought it was like end all be all. Like, dude, I didn't lose my virginity till sophomore year of college.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty late. How old is that?
Thanks.
22?
You made me feel hella awkward.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, imagine how I felt in high school when all my friends weren't virgin. You know what I'm saying? They were like,
I mean, as a man, you probably feel bad about it.
Well, the girls even wrote it in my yearbook. Hey,
they're like, oh, sorry.
They all knew. They're like, well, hopefully.
Did they think you were gay?
No, I was just a different high school experience. One, I was a super athlete. Like,
you were an athlete and you weren't getting laid?
You're not making...
How did that happen?
I'm going to get to that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I was always
You're not even an ugly guy. I don't
appreciate that.
I don't get it.
But Christian camps.
Christian camps.
Yeah, student venture. I was heavily into...
But usually the Christians and the Catholics are the horniest.
Well, not me, because I really...
Were you like Seventh Day or what? Were you like a weird...
No, it was called Student Venture. It was...
It wasn't like a weird kind of Christian?
No, it was just like... I if anything, I would invite a girl to Bible study. Or
So you just really wanted to read the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you went to picking up a girl on the street with the white face and black clothes.
This is years later. Yeah, I went to the dark side.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
As they always do in Christian camp.
But what happened with me too, you add the alcohol with college and me not wrestling and me just doing the normal college
But you were getting laid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I get it, yeah.
But it didn't happen till much later.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has their time.
Yeah, everyone has their time. But going back to the, this is interesting. I didn't think we'd talk about this. I'm fascinated.
I had no idea what we were going to talk
about. It, by the way.
Okay. By incels?
Yeah, because in a way, I try to relate. I try to put myself in their shoes, you know?
I think a lot of guys do. They're kind of like,
they're
like, hey, buddy, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, if you're out there, this one of my good friends in high school, because he was always like getting laid and always dating the next girl. I'm like, and I would always ask him. I'd be like, what? How are you doing this? He goes, dog, you got to try.
Yeah, you never even tried, did you?
This is one thing he always said that always stuck with me. He goes, hey, dog, if you don't try, you'll never know.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
I'm like, wait a minute, what did you just say? But this is going back to the Elliot. Dude, you have to try. You have to try to engage these conversations.
Or maybe when he did, it just was
not
falling
only
flat.
that, he didn't even know like the basics. You know how like strength in numbers or like just having a good social group. Like, you know, being friends with friends of girls.
What will attract girls.
Exactly. Like having friends with other attractive people or people that
like,
with good personalities.
Yeah, he was missing a lot.
Yeah. So he would just be in his room playing like his computer game, you know, and then he would be sobbing in his room. And then he thought, because dude, he drove a BMW. He had designer clothes. His dad was actually like co-director or producer for like the Hunger Games or something like that. So he was
like, why aren't girls fucking me in my BMW?
Yeah, he came from prestige and like, you know,
it was definitely his personality then. Yeah.
Yes.
Dang.
But going back to why I'm obsessed with it, it's because of those factors. Because I think everyone in their life has experienced loneliness and isolation.
Yeah.
Right? Especially now, right?
Yeah.
COVID,
even not now.
Even not now. Right.
Yeah.
But through those times, you could do something positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to, you know, you could write a book. You could literally write a whole book, even a fictional or autobiographical. Yeah. You could write a whole book on a character based on you that's going through these types of things. You know what I'm saying?
I think they just really lack self-awareness, or, I mean, obviously they have no problem-solving skills whatsoever, no critical thinking. So
no, that's not true with Elliot, though. He was very smart in the sense of he was well-written, well-read. He was sophisticated.
So his brain works, but not fully, right? Like, he doesn't have well-rounded thought, because if he had well-rounded thought, then he wouldn't have wound up at the position that he found himself in at the end.
Yeah, and that's another thing that fascinates
Just
me.
because he can spell good, you know, doesn't mean...
No, it's a person that would go to those lengths to... Because, you know, his whole thing was... he was obsessed with... I mean, no pun intended, but he was obsessed with blondes.
Okay.
He wanted a blonde girl. And so
sounds like my ex. No, I'm kidding.
So his whole plan was to go to the Alpha Phi, like the prettiest blonde sorority on the Santa Barbara campus.
Oof.
But what ended up happening is, he had all of his guns, and he Yeah, the day of retribution is what he called it, and he knocked on the door of the sorority house, and thank God, it was locked.
Oh.
So it was locked, and so he was like, 3 sorority girls from a whole different house. He just randomly taking a walk. He went boom, boom, boom.
Oh no.
Killed 2, injured 1, I believe. But going back to why I'm fascinated is the length, what it took to get to that point.
Like the serial killer mindset. Like how did they even get there? Like how do you become so broken to get to that point? So it's not really about the sex, the lack of sex part of it. You're just like, how did he get so far to shoot 3 girls on a college?
He desired attention and love so much that he was willing to just say, well, if I'm not going to get it, I'll punish you all.
Yeah.
For living better lives than me. You know what? One last thing, because I know I've talked about this. One last thing. You know what disturbs me the most about him? So he had a thing about blondes and just females in general, pretty females on campus of Santa Barbara or whatever their college. But why are you killing your Asian roommates, dog?
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Wait, there are dudes?
And they were dorkier than him.
He was like, it's like when you see a deer that's hurt and then, you know, like it get hit by a car and you have to shoot it to take it out. He's like, your life sucks too. I'm just going to take you out now.
And
is that what it was?
That, he stabbed them to death in their sleep.
Oh, Jesus. He didn't shoot him?
No.
He had guns, but he didn't shoot him.
He had tons of ammunition. He had hundreds and thousands of rounds of ammunition. But he
chose to slide that knife right through the meat.
Yeah, I think because I've studied some of his manifestos. I'm telling you, I got obsessed with.
You have too much time on your hands.
No, I don't. Well, I'm working on stuff. On stuff. But he did that with the intent of using his personal space as a torture chamber. Isn't that twisted?
So I don't know if this is even about the incel stuff. I think he was just crazy.
What do you mean?
Like I don't think if he got laid by a blonde Becky that it would have stopped all of this.
You know what? You might have a point. You're right, huh?
I don't think. I feel like we should put him in a different category from incels.
You know, that's kind of interesting because why is it that the incel community embrace him so much as like this godhead?
Probably because, like, I don't know, they can put their anger somewhere. Like, they wish they could take revenge on women, but they never really would. Like, I don't think most of them are actually, like, that crazy. So that's crazy.
So you're telling me if his dad said, "Hey, son, all right, you haven't
he could have just buy a prostitute."
I know, and he's like, "Okay, we're going to the Bunny Ranch, get in the car, get in the BMW, we're driving to the Bunny Ranch."
His dad could probably buy him some foin honeys.
So yeah, what does that mean?
Foin.
What is foin? Hold up, that's new to me. What does that mean?
It just means fine.
Okay, so his father said, "I'm taking you to the fine Bunny Ranch.
Yes.
Whatever you want, son." And
I don't think it would have stopped the...
You're saying it wouldn't have changed anything.
No, I think he was crazy. From the way you're saying, like, torture chamber knives and just shooting people on sight, like, those people are missing brain cells.
He needed years and years and years of therapy.
Yeah, I mean, he should have been behind a locked, padded door.
Yeah. And why aren't you prescribing this kid? Like, shouldn't you? I don't know. Or shouldn't you diagnose something? Like, if you're his parents,
how no one saw that.
Yeah, if you're his mom or dad, you can't just buy your son or daughter like the best shit and just say, "Here you go, here you go."
Yeah, I mean that's people shouldn't be. Some people shouldn't be parents because they're not even aware of how their children are doing.
So you plan to have kids someday?
No,
right?
I don't.
But let's
if I have kids, it'll be like, oh, the world has fucking collided because it's not in my plan, but I might.
So let's say you're pregnant, or let's say I'm about to be a father with my girl and we're about to have a baby, and the time comes with, should I hook them up with a iPad or like, would you do that? Would you let your kid?
Maybe like 8th, 9th grade.
But no, I'm talking about like 6th grade or 5th, 6th grade.
Like I don't think I think we need to push it back. I don't think elementary school kids need.
Yeah, I don't.
iPads.
That's a good answer.
I would
'cause
say
don't
8th,
think.
9th
Yeah, I
grade,
don't
yeah.
think so either. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe 8th grade, middle school, maybe late middle school.
You think so?
I mean, we can't wait till high school. That's too late. But
would you put a time cap on the amount of time you would give them on that?
I mean, if you want to be a good parent,
Yeah.
you have to. I mean, you have to have rules and foundation for being a normal human.
Right. Do you think that your kids would resent you if you didn't let them have any technology?
No, I think when you talk to your kids and you explain things to them, because I think a lot of people lay down rules without really speaking to their children like adult. I mean, kids can understand complex things if you just explain it to them.
Right.
If you talk to them like they're not stupid, if you talk to them like an adult, explain why, explain, your motivation for limiting things, then I don't think that they would resent you, because if you're showing you're doing it out of care.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a resentment. But I think they might be like, ugh, it's annoying.
Yeah, but if Joey, right, is a 9th grader, and in his homeroom class, all of his homies have like the latest iPhone, don't you think he's gonna feel a little out of place and like?
Well, he can have the latest
hey, Dad,
stuff.
How come I don't have one?
He can have the latest stuff. I just think it's more about keeping an eye on it. Like, he can't just have it 24/7 in his room by himself.
Yeah, because he could go down deep rabbit holes.
I mean, we went down deep rabbit holes.
I still do. I still do every night.
When Faces of Death came out?
Oh, yeah. I was obsessed with all that shit. And those are rare because it's like you had to know a homie with the VHS tape, or you're like, oh, Brad has it?
I would never watch it. I was too scared, but everyone was talking about it.
But, that's so crazy because now you just have to, you could do your own research and find.
I don't either.
I
try not to look at.
God, I'm sorry. I went off. We went off. Hold on. I want to get to Big Moot. I'm so sorry I didn't expect to talk about all this other stuff.
We don't need to have a specific thing.
I definitely want to promote though.
Oh, okay.
The channel.
Yeah.
And you are doing well now with this platform, right?
Yeah. We're doing pretty good.
So how do people find out? How often do you release videos, and how do they find it?
Oh yeah, we release a video every Tuesday, and we have some bonus content every now and then. Like the girls will all go together, shoot some videos, like some vlogs and stuff at a little Airbnb. Like we'll cook food. Like, so we have some extra videos that come out on Thursdays.
You do some mukbang?
Not really a mukbang, but like we'll just have different vlog content type of stuff. We're also doing some murder mystery type of episodes now because it's like super trendy. So
yeah,
we're kind of getting on
forensic files.
Well, just sitting around kind of discussing.
Oh, I love that stuff.
We did a couple murder weird episodes. Yeah, we're gonna try to do a Christmas murder episode.
Do you guys have a Patreon or?
No, we're just a YouTube channel right now. So it's just a podcast and with some additional YouTube videos occasionally. But yeah, it's just Big Mood, and you can listen to it also. But I say you might want to watch it because it's a bunch of girls. Yeah.
And so, subscribe to that.
Yeah.
And then what about your other socials?
My Instagram, it's Jess_Michelle512. But yeah, I mean, if you just search for Big Mood, you'll probably find us.
Shout out to Gina, Gio, Tiffany.
Well, Gio's not on the show anymore. Okay. Right now, the show consists of me, Tiffany, Gina, and Nikki.
Shout out to those.
Yeah.
They've all been on here. They're excellent guests. Yeah. Excellent guests. That's how I found you. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like I'm the trailing one. I don't really push myself out there too much because like I said, I wasn't trying to be an entertainer. Yeah,
but this wasn't difficult. This was your first podcast. You did fine. Time just flew by.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was an hour.
It's done. You're done.
Yeah, cool.
You're basically done. You're free to go.
Cool.
You're free.
All right. Well.
Oh wait, no, not
okay.
yet. I gotta do some announcements, and
kidding.
You're free to go. Okay. So, shout out to Jessica Caldwell. Make sure you follow her and. Subscribe to the YouTube channel Big Mood Girls.
It's just Big Mood.
Big Mood.
Thank you.
I do have a Patreon if you want to help this content stay afloat. Go to patreon.com/Steebee Weebee. Our newest patrons are Audrey, Rehan Khan, Rob Uhrig, and Toni Culper. I'm 6 songs into my Stir Crazy concept album. I'm almost getting there, folks. Writing every night to it. Stay tuned. I do have a website. If you want to buy any kind of merch, just know that the orders may be delayed in shipping because of the quarantine. So go to www.steebeeweebeshow.com for any of that stuff. My Instagram is Instagram/QUANGOU. My Bandcamp is SteebeeWeebieBandcamp.com. There's no Little Ray's World this week because, because of this other album. But Ray may do a feature or be featured on this album. Stay tuned for that. Okay. I do have a P.O. Box video. If you want to send any packages or fan mail or anything, send all your stuff to 1425 North Cherokee Avenue, P.O. Box 1391, LA, California 90093. Did you ever notice I do this? I do this at the end, huh?
Where's your hand going?
I have no idea, but I just realized, why do I do this? Dude,
I like
elbow.
it.
That was easy.
I like it.